if you are coming to Estonia, then forget you are going to see the sun. You are going to see sun possibly, maybe, only for a couple of weeks, maybe in summer, and for the rest of the year, you are stuck with cloudy skies. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Manan and I am your guide towards settling in this strange and beautiful country called Estonia. If you haven't watched the previous episode, I highly recommend you go watch that because that will give you a background on what I'm doing. But just to give you a brief intro, I am Manan, as I already told, and for the past 6 years, I've been living in this little country called Estonia. I originally come from Pakistan, and this whole process has been very challenging and very rewarding for me in the last 6 years. And this series is an attempt to help other people like me so that they can settle easily in a strange place. In the first video, we talked about the first challenge that you will face when you come to this country, and that is the cold. Now, in this video, we are going to discuss probably the biggest challenge that you are going to face, and this is something that even I haven't been able to fully adopt yet. Not even many locals are accustomed to it, and that is the very difficult thing, which is the darkness and the lack of sun throughout the year. Yeah, you heard me correctly. If you live in Estonia, if you are coming to Estonia, then forget you are going to see the sun. You are going to see sun possibly, maybe, only for a couple of weeks, maybe in summer, and for the rest of the year, you are stuck with cloudy skies. Yeah, sounds grim. Let's roll and let's see what we can do about that. Why is Estonia so dark the whole year? The reason is quite simply because of the cloud cover. This problem especially gets worse in winter when you have very short days. So, for example, in winter, the shortest days can go up to 6 hours. Imagine you wake up in the morning, you get ready, you go to work, it's pitch dark, the sun hasn't still come up. You finish your work after 8 hours, you go back home, and it's still dark and you missed the whole day. The lack of sun and sunlight can cause a variety of problems because our bodies are attuned to start our bodily processes with the help of light, and especially sunlight. There is something called the circadian rhythm, which our body follows over a 24-hour cycle. So for example, in the morning when we wake up, our bodies need to have sunlight so that they can kickstart the process. Now, if we don't receive sunlight, then our bodies still assume that we are sleeping and we feel laziness and lethargy. If we don't adopt to this new paradigm, we will start to feel very bad, and eventually, if it keeps unchecked, then we might slip into depression or anxiety or other mental health issues, which is unfortunately fairly common in these times. So what really can we do about it? Now, fortunately, living here for 6 years, there are a number of ways that you can do to counter that. And I'm going to tell you different ways in which we can enjoy this cold, dark, wintry weather. Number one, the first thing that you need to do is to make sure that as soon as you wake up, you open your window and you look outside to the sky. Even though the weather is cloudy, it will help you wake up no matter how dark it is. Now, the reason for that is quite simple. Our bodies are attuned not just to the visible light, but also to the UV light, which is not visible to our eyes. I'm going to link a post in the description below which tells in detail why is it so important that you look outside, look towards the sun as soon as you wake up. So that is point number one, and it's extremely important. Point number two is make sure that you are well stocked on vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is an essential vitamin that we get from sunlight when our skin is exposed to sunlight. But in the absence of sunlight, we are not able to produce vitamin D, which means that this can cause a lot of issues. Vitamin D mainly helps us strengthen our bones, but there are also factors that are linked to mental health. So if you're not feeling very good during all these times, I would highly recommend that you get your vitamin D levels checked. Make sure that you have enough vitamin D. Take it every day. The normal dose for a person is up to 4,000 IUs, and for a person like me who's a little bit dark skinned, we are not able to retain vitamin D as much as people with much fair skin. So you need to take more than what is usually recommended. Now for the third thing, actually, Estonian Manan is really eager to tell you all about how to cope up with the wintry weather, and he can't just wait. So yeah, on to him. So what are you saying? Okay, I should sit down and in a small space and sweat. Okay, yeah, all right. Now what Estonian Manan here is talking about is, of course, the sauna. Sauna has been essential in Estonian culture for many thousands of years. All the social rituals of Estonia happen in the sauna. Many Estonians were born also in a sauna. It's a sacred place for many Estonians. And it's no wonder why, because culture can often provide us solutions to problems that occur geographically in that region. And I believe that sauna is one of the very big reasons that Estonians especially are able to survive this lack of sun and sunlight. Now, what does sauna do exactly? So you sit down in a cramped space with people and you sweat. Now what sauna does is it releases hormones in your body, endorphins and also dopamine, which are feel-good hormones. So you feel a kind of a high when you get out of sauna, and this can be very, very good. It also has a number of different benefits that I will link in the description below for you to read. But understand that if you are here in Estonia and if you are struggling to cope up with this dark weather and lack of sunlight, then I highly recommend that you try the things that Estonian culture does, especially the sauna. Assure you that it will make you feel better in so many different ways. Going to a sauna can be quite a bit of a cultural shock to us. Imagine going in a room full of naked people, like butt naked, sweating together and talking. This can be, yeah, quite a bit of a shock. Please understand that you don't necessarily have to be naked, fully naked yourself. You could be wearing shorts or anything that you would like to cover yourself, unless it is explicitly stated as a part of rules for that particular sauna. You don't necessarily have to be naked, so please don't worry about that. The second thing is that being naked in a sauna is a part of Estonian culture. It's like, imagine going to a party and then having tea afterwards. It's kind of like understood that you drink tea after biryani. Similarly, in Estonia, it's automatically understood that if you go in a sauna, you're naked. Please don't worry about that. Please talk to other people. Please, it can be quite disconcerting at first, but I assure you, once you get the hang of it, you will start to enjoy and you will start to see why Estonians love to talk there so much. It's hard to imagine Estonians talking so much, but sauna, inside a sauna, man, that's a whole new world. Okay, what more Estonian Manan? Okay, so I should hold my nose and then jump. Okay. Okay. So I should hold my nose and I should jump in cold. Okay. So what Estonian Manan is talking here about is mainly cold showers or cold dipping or cold swimming. I know this can be very, very hard and intimidating to even think of. Imagine sub-zero temperatures outside and you want to jump in the lake. That doesn't really make any sense. But the benefits of cold water are so numerous and it's so well established that it's hard to argue against that. Quite often the fear of cold in our minds is just a fear. Think of cold as something that we need to get away from. But when you get out into the sea and dip yourself in the cold water, your fear sort of dissolves, and the high and the euphoria that you feel afterwards, I assure you there is nothing better than that in the cold weather. Now, this is of course not for everybody. For normal people like me, what I usually do is that during my showers I end them with cold water, as cold as possible, for maybe 30 seconds. And that gives you a sense of achievement that you can carry throughout the whole day. Not to mention the fact that if you wake up in the morning and you do that, that will quickly jumpstart all the processes for the day. Here was my take on the second biggest challenge that you will face when you come to Estonia, and that is the darkness, the lack of sun. I know it can be very hard, very difficult to cope up with this kind of weather, but sometimes it's just easier to accept that this is normal, even though our bodies might be wanting to go back in the sun, in the sunny weather, and wanting that sunny summer back as so bad. But there is a charm, there is a centeredness, there is a calm in the cold, dark winter that you can use to self-reflect, to introspect, and make your life better instead of feeling miserable on what you cannot have right now. So I wish you a very dark, cold, and fulfilling winter. I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, bye bye.